Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Viewer discretion is advised. Shalom, shalom, beloved. All right, what we are seeing here is the Dutch police over there. I believe in Germany. Is that what, the Netherlands or Germany? I believe it's the Netherlands. And there was a shooting over there. Well, excuse me. There was a popcorn fest over there. Okay. He took out. It took out 2 people. This happened in Europe. It happened today. Yes, in the Netherlands. And they are not really touching on this. They just, anything that you see, those folks are putting out there. They don't make any comment. They just, giving you letters and subtitles. They need to get their lies together. They need to get their stories together. They need to come up with something. If they can't blame it on us, they're gonna blame it to somebody somehow. We somewhat associated with them. That's what they're going to do. They're going to try to divert the real thing towards us. But beloved, let's go ahead and watch the video. And I'm just going to go through the subtitle and just read it. I'm going to put the volume a little bit. I'll just mute it. Okay, just going to read it. Rotterdam, Netherlands. First responders work to help victims after a gunman opened fire at a house and a hospital in the Dutch city of Rotterdam. Okay. And you see how they don't specify. They say Dutch police arrest gunman after deadly hospital shooting. They don't say, okay, well, he did this, he did that, and this is why. They don't say this. They just give you some. They just throw things out there, and then you will make up what's going on. What happened? Why did they do this? But you will see once we get to the Philadelphia story about a bunch of people that look like us going around looting taking things, those are, I'm not going to even refer to them as 2/3. Those are other people. Okay. Our people, we don't do that. We don't do this nonsense. But you'll see them and they will give you so much details. You're like, wait, there's so much details in this thing. I don't want to know about this. But things like that, they don't say anything. All right. So, and this dude went over there in the Netherlands and he did this to those people. All right. So those folks, they won't tell you exactly what's going on. They don't tell you how many of their people are being taken down. The terror. You see how they are running. Okay. Those people are good. That's one man. One man did this. Okay. The 32-year-old suspect was arrested under the helipad of the hospital. Okay, this dude went to a hospital and did this. All right. And then you see those guys wearing those gears as if like they're going to do something. As if they're going to, the situation could have been worse. What? 2 people died here, man. Well, the situation could have been worse. Okay, yes. If we didn't come here. Yeah, whatever, man. Okay, so the Holy One giving them. Police said a woman was killed and her daughter seriously wounded at the hospital. I think a 14-year-old girl was no more. A teacher at the medical center also died of his injuries. Okay, so this is great reports right there, and then can't wait for them to interview some black dude or some kind of like people that look like us and say, how do you feel about what's going on out there? Thoughts and prayers. But anyway, shalom, beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike. Welcome. This is your humble servant, Big Levi, and today is the deck, September the 28th, 2023. Where are my Zedekites? Are there any Zedekites in the midst? The warrior class. Where are the king, the priests? The king, the queens, the blue people, the Jupiterian, the Thursday people. Let the world know that the Zedekites are in the midst and they are about to take power. So this is not going to release in the deck, but if it is, so hey, great glory, man. I think this should be released tomorrow, Noga, for the Noga Heights. But I'll do the best I can do. If I can release it today, I'll release it. And great glory to the mighty one, beloved. Our main duty here, our main services that we provided here is peace and staying in high vibration and keep the frequency going on a positive side. Yes, the frequency can go both negative and positive. You need both. You need the iron, cation, you need the electromagnetic, you need the electric fluid, you need the magnetic fluid, you need the plus and the minus, both of them, balance. Angel, demons, light and darkness, they both go together. You need both of them. The world runs on both. If you are a one-sided person, super one-sided, and you just like the Gentiles, because that's what they are, everything is one to the extreme. So, beloved, we are here to tell you there'll be no Jacob's trouble. Be at peace. The mighty one has delivered us. You must pray and fasted and repent for all your sins and continue on going through this thing, because this is individual now. This has nothing. And at a whole, the whole nation repented. That's why the mighty one crushed that thing in 2020, because the entire nation, we had repented. Now, individually, you need to work on the spiritual development of yourself. We call it here magical development of yourself. You need to know what kind of power do you possess, what kind of energy that you were born with, you were born under. What kind of things you can do? What is your element? You need to go study those things and activate this gene, this power, this energy that is within you, and get down to business. Okay? Be at peace. For you to activate those things, you must take away the old Jacob's trouble garbage in your mind. The so-called Gentiles, they've done us a lot. They literally done everything under the book, over the book, in the book, out of the book unto us. There's nothing else those people can do to us they haven't done to us back in the past, during the Spanish Inquisition or Roman Inquisition, during the Inquisition still going on. They've done every single thing to us. Fear them not, fear no FEMA. National Guard is going to come. Well, the military are going to come in the hood, and then they're going to take the men and the women. The black women are going to get raped. All this nonsense. None of those things going to happen to us, because they already did happen. The church hide that. The Catholic Church, aka the priesthood of Mahan, and the harlots, they've done terrible things unto us. And they ain't going to do that anymore. If anything, it's the other way around. So, we have quite a few tabs open here. We're going to go through each of them, and we're going to see prophecies being fulfilled and messages that the Holy One is sending unto us through the angels, the numbers, the people, the names, the locations, and all that. All right, beloved, let's keep on moving. Oh, all right. I had muted this. There we go.
spree, a growing
Okay,
problem
watch
around the
this.
country.
Watch this, all right?
Police in Philadelphia arrested dozens of people last night after a violent looting spree, a growing problem around the country that's forcing many retailers to take drastic measures. Tom Yamas has that story.
Tonight, more than 50 people are under arrest in connection with this overnight crime wave that hit Philadelphia. Officers tackling suspects ransacking businesses. Crowds of suspected thieves seen running from stores like Apple, Lululemon, and Foot Locker.
This is not shoplifting. This is looting. This is riot.
It's called organized retail theft. It's happening all over America, killing business and making shopping even more expensive.
Let me go ahead and stop right here. You see, if the Gentile or 83 want this shopping thing or spree or this looting, organized looting to stop, or first of all, they organize this nonsense. They got a few people that look like us, and again, a bunch of the 2/3, and the moment they see something negative like that going on, they are excited. They want to take part of it. And a lot of those people are other nation. We don't know who they are, but they are not our people. And they like to go over there and get involved with those folks. See, they do things like that, just like the whole migrant thing, so they can put the attention back onto us. So they can say, look, the reason why Target, Walmart, all those places are closing because black people are stealing too much. Not because the blessing is over, the money is weak, we don't know what to do. We've been, the pandemic, because that's what we call it, the pandemic already crushed us. That's not the problem. The problem is you people stealing everything, and then that's what bankrupt us. Do you really believe if those people wanted this thing to stop, you would have seen footage of it? They would have laid down those people even before they reach the stores. They know the psychiatry of the 2/3. They know certain the mind, the psychic of the 2/3. The moment they see a few of them see something online, they let those things go on online. They control the internet, of course. They let those things go online, and then they release those people in our community, and the behavior continue. So they can blame it on us. So they can say, well, the economy crashed because black people are out there stealing everything. So that's not my fault that Target closed all these 50,000 locations. It's your fault. It's all black folks. We need to put the attention back onto them. Don't put the attention on what's going on around the world, especially over there in the Netherlands. You know, those people, the guy over there and killing people, the stuff that happened in Maui, and the things that are happening in Canada, and the things that are happening all around. Don't pay attention to that. When the hash hit the fan, those are the people we need to blame.
Target says crooks are forcing them to close 9 stores by October.
Again, like I said, if they want this thing to stop, because the businesses control the politician. Politicians don't control business. Politicians do not control money. Money control them. Money making them. Politicians never walk one day in their life and make $1. They don't work to make money. The money literally make them work. They don't work because of politics. And those big businesses, once they want to abuse and demoralize our people, they pay the so-called politician a lot of money to come up with laws and things to destroy us. And now they lost the power. They wanted to make it seem that, oh, we are closing those locations because there are so many looting going on and stuff and things like that. Oh, we don't know what to do. We cannot arrest them. The prison are so filled. Who are robbing those places? Who are filling up those prisons? Show me those people faces. Of course, they're going to show like a bunch of freaking people that again, I'm not going to even refer them as 2/3. Those are not our people. At this point right now, people don't go out there and do this nonsense. They know exactly what's going on. Most of the people that are awakened, if not all of them, they won't get involved with this nonsense. But a bunch of people that are not us, they have other gene mixing with them. They'll go out there and they do this nonsense, and so they can blame it on all of us.
Saying theft is, quote, threatening the safety of our team and guests.
Yeah, boy.
This Target in Oakland is one of the ones shutting down, and you can see what the shopping experience is like. You got deodorant, you have shaving cream all locked up, even toothpaste. You have to call someone to help you buy one because of thieves.
But it's the crime outside of stores in Oakland that is terrifying residents. 10,000 cars stolen just this year. Burglaries and robberies also up. Last week, cameras captured this woman screaming in agony as thieves dragged her across the street trying to steal her purse. It mirrors another incident earlier this month.
When you see crime like that during the day, what does that tell you?
Again, they have to put somebody that look like us here. They show you some grainy footage. You have no idea who are those people. Who are those people that are doing this thing? The same thing they were doing during the 2020 when we had the so-called pandemic, which is still going on. When Moab was catching hell, and then they want to project, they want to make it seem that we were the one bringing the, abuse them, killing them, and calling them names for the whole pandemic. And now you don't hear people about this thing. What they gonna do that? They bought a dude that look like us, and now people will say, "That Big Levi, this is one of us." And then he will say a few things, and then they will show you a few mugshot, a few dudes that look like us, and then that's it. Try to take the attention away from them and saying like, "Well, the reason why everything's closing become expensive, black people are stealing everything, not because the money has no strength, the dollar is nothing, the bricks is even hish." And we lost the blessing and everything is going down. No, we're going to blame it on those people. Bring this Negro over there and then explain everything. Let's listen to what he has to say.
It tells me that there's a sense of lawlessness, that there are people in our community that don't feel.
In our community, who say this? This black dude they put over here to make the illusion that we are the people that are causing these things. And if the country, well, not if, when the country truly go down, black folk did this. Black folk did that. That's what they try to portray out there.
Fear of being arrested.
LaRon Armstrong was the latest Oakland police chief to be fired.
Is it a free-for-all when it comes to crime in Oakland?
I think it's a combination of lack of enforcement and then not strong enough prosecution.
And now residents of Oakland say they've had enough.
So suddenly now those people had enough. Okay, those folks, certain faces that you're seeing here, they had enough. They had enough. You folks came in our community, suck up all the wealth, and give hash to the hood, and now certain things are falling upon you. You on strike. Business on strike. You think the so-called two-third really you think those guys truly care if you're on strike? Seems like everything is on strike now. The Hollywood writers on strike, actors on strike, merchant on strike, businessmen on strike, businesswomen on strike, even the bakeries, the people that are, the only fanatic online, they're on strike. Like, what the hell is going on? The moment things go against those people, the way of life, and they're on strike. They don't want to, I don't want to participate in this. I don't want this thing. I don't want to with that. Okay, yeah, whatever, man. Whatever it is.
Closing their own businesses in protest of a city they say can't keep them safe.
Letting violent crime criminals out as soon as they're apprehended and booked does not lead to public safety.
I consider it a state of emergency. I've never seen Oakland this way before.
Again, like I said, those are the same politicians that make those laws, because a lot of them were going to jail. So remember, when they were tough on crime, anytime you heard it, excuse me, this thing is a little bit too loud, excuse me, here we go. Anytime you heard tough on law, we have to be tough on crime, we have to be tough on crime, that means crime is another word for our people. We have to be tough on people. Oh, well, we have to understand the 99.99% of the majority of STD, which stands for sexual transmission of disease, are in the midst of the unfortunate black community, which is or suffering from an excessive amount of unemployment, crime ridden, and drugs, and this thing is happening in the midst of them, and we need to be very tough to separate the bad from the good. We do know we have good people out there like Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, and we have Lil Nas X. We all, and his crew and his people and his community and his flag, they're all good people. We need to separate them from the bad. So thus we need to be tough on crime. We need to send someone that stole a TV 400 years in prison. That will teach the others. And that's what you guys did during the 80s, 90s, 70s. That's what you guys did the moment you came here. However, things start to change in the early 2000s. See, the so-called 83 have a lost generation. The so-called the millennial, the Z, from millennial, again, we are not part of any of that generation. I don't want my people to go out there where I'm a boomer, I'm a millennial, I'm a generation X, I'm a generation Z, I'm a generation that, none of that. We are not part of their stuff. We are not part of their millennial or whatever. But the so-called millennial to generation X or whatever, they are doomed. They lost. They don't have anything. You see, the way Gentiles, the so-called 83, get the wealth, it's something that's passing on to them from inheritance. They never work for the wealth. There is no such thing as you work for your wealth. It doesn't work like that. They get the house passed on to them. Okay, that's like a $1 million saving right now. But you have to work to buy a house. And not only this house, from the mother side, they get a house. From the father side, they get a house. That's the man. The woman also. There's 4 houses in the midst of one family. They just stay in one and they sold the other. They rent the 2. Okay? And then they got land. They got business loan. Those things, they have them for free. They didn't work for that. They got all sort of bills, laws, policies, and things that they pass that make life easier for them. They got certain bills, the GI bills, certain things that they deny our people, but they themselves, they enjoy. But those things come to an halt because they know the blessing is going to be over, which is over now. So the so-called generation millennial or anybody that come after that, and their part, they are doomed. Those are the people that were, tough on crime. We need to be tough on crime, tough on crime, tough on drugs, war on drugs. When they say war on drugs, they're not saying like war on the actual, which is there's no. If you said war on drugs, you're gonna have to arrest people for drinking water, because water is a freaking drug. Because when you're thirsty, you're about to die, you drink water, it make you feel good. It bring you back to life. That's a drug. War on our people, and you destroy our community with this hatred. But we bounce back. We're doing all right. But your generation, the 30s, the 20s, those people are hooked on drugs. That's why they let all those migrants come here, because there's they got a generation that can't work. The so-called boomers, they retired on their part. They are out of the door. Generation X, they can't work because they're on drugs. The millennials, they're on drugs. The Zs, they're on drugs. All their people, they're on drugs. They can't work. It's just the despair. That's a proper word. There's a documentary, a video that came in 4 or 5 years ago when the beloved sister Lisa Cabral was putting the whole opioid crisis, which they really don't talk about this thing anymore, and which they act like it's done, but it is there. American Despair. Oh, no, not Despair. White male American Despair. Okay, Death of Despair. Remember that 6 years ago? Let's just there you go. That's the oh man, I love this documentary. It was let's watch this one. Let's watch this one, and then we're gonna take a little bit of that one over there.
Now, a look at a demographic trend that is surprising the experts. Despite decades of advancements in healthcare, diet, and safety, middle-aged white Americans are now living shorter, not longer lives.
So, again, they, like Elon Musk told you, they knew this back in the 70s. Elon Musk told you, like, well, since the 70s, we know we passed the point of no return. That's why they had to ship all the jobs in China. Because they know our people are increasing, they are decreasing. And then in 2000, early 2000, and they realized this thing is getting really, really bad. So this documentaries was released in 2018. Is that what they always turn off the comet? Okay, 2017, around but that time, 16, 17, they start come up with the whole death of despair, because they are so, it's not stopping, Bridget. It starts double, quadruple, fifth, triple, six, triple, seven, 10 triple, or tenfold. This thing is getting worse and worse. All right, they know that.
Our economics correspondent reports in the latest installment of Making Sense.
Maysville, Kentucky, in the northeast corner of the state, just a short bridge away from Ohio. Despite some merchants' best efforts at cosmopolitan outreach, the downtown is struggling. But at one local establishment, business is brisk and growing.
So they just told you that was 2017. All those businesses are struggling. A lot of them shut down. The only business that are making money are the funeral home, and then those businesses close. And then now they are telling you, oh, the reason why most businesses are closing and leaving the city, it's because of looting. It's because of looting. Wait, back in 2017, you guys say this thing are closing because there is despair. You people can't work. It's not like there is no work. There are work. You guys can't work because a lot of you are you know it's done. The deal is done. You can't work. You on drugs, and you don't want to hire our people because you know if they you hire the black man, so to speak, because of this discussion that we are doing here. We will refer the term as black men, but we know we are Israelite, the children of the Mighty One. You know for a fact, if the black man is working, okay, his woman stay home, taking care of the children, he's bringing home the money, the woman doesn't have to work, and then the money is coming in the home, the kids are being raising right, and that's all it takes, 5 years. That's all it takes. In 5 years, they will make so much money. The saving will be so much. And this thing going to be booming. You know for a fact, if you hire the black woman and the black man working, the black teenagers, the men and the women, the teenagers, if you hire them to do whatever the job, and you pay them properly the same money that you pay your own people, you know it's a done deal. That's why you would rather close down instead of hiring our people. You are the one that come up with laws and bills and policies that if one of the so-called our people or anybody out there have somewhat a mishap in the background, they can't get certain job, but they can't work anymore. They can't work anywhere. If that person is an addict, he can't work anywhere. You are the one that made this. You are the one that say if you've been arrested for drugs or selling or using drugs, there are certain jobs you cannot get, or you can't work at all, period. A bunch of those people, your people, being in drugs, and they know they've been arrested, they like, it's over for me. Although if they go ahead and look at and go get the job, they will get the job because they will look at their faces and skin color, not of the record. But the despair, they are taking themselves out. Because the so-called middle-aged white men, they realize the policies of the so-called the old doomed them. They can't afford a house easily like their forefathers or their parents used to. It's not like they used to buy the house, Bridget. They used to inherit the house. Now, the tough guys, the tough white men that have the money, they bought literally everything. And they put everything on rent. And then they raise the price so much, so high. So they even the other people that look like them cannot afford it. That was in 2017. Those places were being closed. And it was not because of looting. It was because of you people can't work, you on drugs, and the despair, the blessing is done. You know this thing, it was coming, it's coming, and it's in the midst of you.
This is Batesville 20 gauge steel protector.
This one is Churchill blue.
Churchill blue. We can't get this in a misty rose for ladies.
David Lawrence manages the Knox and Brothers Funeral Home, is also the county coroner. He's been seeing a lot of dead white males of late, especially ages 45 to 54.
A lot of it due to alcohol or drug abuse.
That's what we are talking about. You know what the so-called Gentiles did? They come up with the context. The moment anyone, men and women, you hit the age 40, you done. If you're 40 years old out there, whether you are successful or you not successful, you done. That's how, they are the one who come up with those things. They are the one that grab up and hoard all the money. And those guys are 40, 45, 54. They look at their life. They have nothing. Because that's what those guys make it. They make it by the time their parents were 18, they married, they have homes, they have a good job, okay? And then they were traveling and things, taking vacation, world trip in their 20s. And they lie from 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and then they retired in their 20s, but they're going around to their job to F around or to brutalize and bully our people. And then once they reach 60, back then the retirement used to be about 62. Let me make sure of that. What was the age? Hang on. What was the age of retirement back then? I'll say back in 1960s. What was the age of retirement in 19...
According to Investopedia, full retirement age is the age you must reach to receive full retirement benefits from Social Security. Your FRA varies depending on the year you were born. The FRA in the United States is 66 years and 2 months for those born in 1955, increasing gradually to 67 for those born in 1960 or later.
Okay, well, 66, 67 now, but what was the age of retirement back in 1960s?
Here is some information for full retirement age born 1960 according to SSA. The law raised the full retirement age beginning with people born in 1938 or later. The retirement age gradually increases by a few months for every birth year until it reaches 67 for people born in 1960 and later.
Okay, anyway, but I think it was 62. Okay, like 60 or 62 back in the 60s, 50s. And those guys reach 50, 60, they get retired, they got huge pension, they got like huge benefit, they got all the benefit and stuff because that's what the laws, sign. It's not because they work hard for those things. They just inherit those things. And now you got white male, they're all of 45, 50, 54, and they look at their lives, they're like, there's nothing there. What's the point of living? What's the point of going to work? I'm not happy. And they're taking themselves out. Still are. They just don't report it the way that they used to pre-2017. Well, pre-2020.
There has been a Denham practicing medicine.
Craig Denham wears multiple hats, too.
This small bag is my grandfather's medical kit.
A fifth-generation Kentucky family physician.
My great-great-grandfather's.
He's also medical director for the fire department's emergency service.
See how their fathers transplant or transcending their wealth back onto them, their father. When they say, oh, well, my great-grandfather was this. No, he wasn't. He owned the business. Our people worked for him. That's all. Well, Bill Gates invented this. Bill Gates didn't. Elon Musk invented the Tesla car. He's so smart. No, he doesn't. He's just the owner. He just passed away. He make people work for him, take the wealth, pass it on to his children. He has 9 now. He has 9 kids. And that guy is online blatantly blaming people. I'm sorry. He blatantly out there blaming white male for not having children. He like, you guys need to get kids, man, because he know how bad that things really get. Okay, there's horses and numbers.
In the past 2.5 years, we've had about a 300% increase in the drug-related overdose ambulance runs.
All right, that was in 2017. He said back 2 to 3 years ago, that would be like 2014, 2015, when the opioid crisis it started to bloom in the midst of them. That's when our beloved sister Lisa Cabrera just started her channel back in 2013, 2014, and they closed her first channel. She was the one who solely bought the whole thing. She was the one who caused this documentary that you're watching here. And now they don't want to talk about this thing anymore. Okay, they act like it's over, but this thing is still here. Look at Kensington, Pennsylvania. Is that what Philadelphia? Is it Pennsylvania or Philadelphia? I'm not quite sure. I think it's Philly. But anyway, so let's keep on going.
And the prevalence of opiate addiction in this area continues to increase.
He's like, Mom, it's nothing that you did. It's me.
Mickey Manning's son got hooked on drugs. Fortunately, he's still alive.
Almost 40 now.
But she blames the drugs in part for her husband's suicide.
He just carried this tremendous guilt for everything, for our son.
No, that's not what it is. A lot of so-called white men out there can't go to sleep, they can't work, they can't do anything because of the guilt of their ancestors. That's what they are carrying. A lot of them really don't care, but a hell of a lot of them, they are looking at the world, they see everything is their fault, and they know that. They know that. That's how those people make us feel. That's how they did make us felt. Any crime that going around, we always like, man, please don't be black, man. Oh man, whenever a school popcorn, a market popcorn or somebody, but right now we are very confident. Anytime we hear a popcorn going somewhere in school and stuff, we know the shooter is not one of us. But anything that get robbed or somebody did a heinous crime, we always like, man, please don't be one of us, man. That would make us look bad. You know how embarrassed that our people are when we are in somewhere and some two-thirds start acting up? Or some illiterate, backward two-thirds start talking very loud? Have you ever been to a restaurant or a place everybody's civilizing, just sitting there, society, eating properly, and then some two-thirds came in and then they start talking very loud, cursing and stuff? That person is not embarrassed. That person has no shame, but you feel all the shame and all the guilt. You can't even stand this person. That's how they feel right now. All the crime their ancestors have done, and then they realize, I don't deserve this. That's what those people are feeling, because it's the guilt of their ancestors. They watch all the wars, they watch all the calamities, they watch all the atrocities that have been committed upon this earth, and every single time, whether the people that are committed it or the people that are suffering under it, it's them. They are the root of the cause. They're like, yo, I can't take this guilt. Because every time I go online, people keep asking for that damn reparation. I don't want to pay this thing. I'm out. I checked out.
Doing drugs. Then he started getting depressed.
Oh, boy.
And then my husband took his own life.
How did he do it?
He
pulled the
blew
trigger.
his head off.
Yeah. And there was the guy, remember what she said? He blew his head off. She didn't, again, beloved, she didn't say he shot himself in the head. He blew his head off. Beloved, this is going to be a very long program tonight, because there's so much to unpack here. There's two stories. Back then when I used to do my investigation like this, there was a woman, I believe, in that video. No, on the other video. She said her husband was a police officer, one of those former law enforcement military men or something like that. And he was struggling with depression. And those people never seems to telling you what caused those depression. Our people, what caused depression? Economic trouble. Money. That's the main root of our depression. We're poor. We don't have the money to do anything that we wanted to do. We medicate ourselves, and then we treat it bad everywhere. They teach the world to hate us. They teach the world to hate the children of the Most High God Almighty, and that's what the world is like that. So this guy, he fall into depression and things like that, and then I believe, again, I'm just paraphrasing here. He keep telling the wife, I'm gonna do it. One day you're gonna come and I'm gonna do it. And she's like, you're gonna do what? Say, well, I'm gonna do it. And then one day, surely enough, she came home, I believe from work, because their women have to work now. Remember, the so-called feminism, it started with white women, see the strength, the bonding that black men and black women had, the strength back in the 70s, because they know their population was going down. Remember what Elon Musk said? He said, we knew this back in the 70s, okay? Since in the 70s, but I believe the feminist movement started in the 50s and 60s. They know, they see how the black men and the black women, the family was strong and still strong. They were in the lowest, but they were still strong and producing, and they were getting underway. So they detach our women. They give the women the illusion of being, you're so powerful. Men keep enslaving us. Okay, they make the women thinking like back slavery, it was all the men that enslave all women. There weren't no black men enslaved. Men is oppressing you. Get away from them and do this, do that. They are the one that engineering this, and they got a few of the people that look like us. They're not our people. They look like us. They infiltrated our people. Okay, they pay those people huge money. And then they make them flaunt their wealth to other women. They say, I am a doctor. I am this, I am that. And then they got other women that leave the house and go studying doctors, and they get the degrees. And then they ended up with a bunch of debt, and they got the same job as that white woman that told them to do things. But that white woman she says she doesn't have any husband, but she do in secret. She got the car, she got the house, she flaunt those things. And then this black woman then think like she can do the same thing by working, don't want children, bashing men and all that. And when she's in her 40s and 50s, and the womanhood kicks in, the womanness kicks in, and she realized, wait, I've been duped. Just like every single person that have a student loan right now, they realize, whoa, this is not what I was thinking. Anyway, the wife come home. He saw a note in the bathroom door, and the note said, do not open the door. Just call 911. P.S. I'm sorry, but I had to make it easier for the cleaning crew. I love you, treat the kids, something like that. Love the dogs or whatever. And I believe she did not listen to the note on the door. I'm just paraphrasing right here. She opened the door. That was the bathroom door. I believe he put it in the front door, and then he put it in the living room door. He put it in all the doors. She opened the bathroom door, and what she saw, the scene that she witnessed, her husband lying down in the bathtub with his head down to, with the water, his head was where the water run through the drain, with the shotgun in his hand, headless. And he did it so clean that all you had to do is just turn on the water, spray a little, and then that's it. And he left a bunch of things that saying that he can't do it anymore. The guilt he felt, he never explained what guilt. And the wife was there grieving in the YouTube comment and stuff. She had a video about that. And boy, I need to do something like this because there are so many things going on. So that's why she said he blew his head off. He didn't shot himself in the head. He blew his head off. And last one, there's a dude that do cleaning. He own one of those cleaning businesses. He doesn't do regular cleaning, go to people's house and clean your bathtub and things like that. So he do like heavy cleaning, like hazardous cleaning, or cleaning the videos on YouTube. We don't have time to go into it. And then he commented. He said, out of all the cleaning, the worst or the suicide, the 988. He said he found the many people that he found, they have one choice: 12 gauge shotgun. They just sit against the wall and they kiss the stick and pulled the finger. And all the brain matter, all the red paint, all the quote unquote the cerebellum, the front and back, the teeth, the eyeball, painted, splattered, and the wall behind them, and the ceiling also. see, I'm seeing that's the weapon of choice. Sometime I read the suicide note and there's a lot of guilt in there. They never specify what kind of guilt. I don't think I'm man enough. I don't feel that I'm man enough. I don't know, and stuff like that. And we've talked about the multiple podcasts, Bridget, how a lot of those men are looking for men to pleasure the wife so they can feel something, because they're unable to do that. Not because they have some medical issue and stuff, because they felt like they're not men enough. And I'm not talking about some dudes that like, some regular plumber guy down. I'm talking about rich men that have a bunch of money, man. Both the plumbers or whatever, I'm not degrading plumbers, I'm just making an example. Both the guys, the truckers, they just need men to dance with the women so they can feel like a man. So they can feel, thank you for doing the job for me, brother. Hey, man, you're welcome. Anytime, just call me. That's what she said here. He blew his head off. Not shooting himself in the head. But anyway, I think we had enough of this. Let's go to the other one, my favorite. Because that guy make a quote. I gotta get the quote. All right? That was made of... Ooh. I understand. Proceed.
Oh.
Yes.
And then I looked at the dog and said, what am I going to do with the dog? And then I started putting another shell in the shotgun.
Again, that's the choice of weapon. Beloved, I'm not making this up, man. When I had time back then, I used to do a lot of research. I used to talk, especially with the business that I was doing back in 2013 till a couple years later down the road. I speak with a lot of those guys. And you know what started happening? Their emotions start spilling on me. I start feeling certain things too. And I'm like, whoa, this is not healthy, man. Because anytime you get with those dudes, they just unload their trouble upon you. Because they have nobody to talk to. It seems like they come to you as a form, not a therapy, but a savior. Like, please save me. Tell me what to do. Okay? All right, let's listen.
Because I thought I'd have to shoot her too. And she gave me this look that just said, what's going on? And I just said, I can't do this.
And they were calling this guy a coward in the chat room, okay?
I can't do this.
What was going on in your life, Russell, that made you feel like you wanted to take your life?
Listen.
I mean, at the time, I was alone.
Alone?
Yeah, it was just me living here and one dog. And loneliness can be kind of a terrible taskmaster.
Yeah.
This is a tough country to live in.
That's the thing. Yes, now, beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, this is a tough country to live in. Yes. Now people are feeling what we've been. Hey, man, this thing is tough, dog. You've been living all your life and sheltered, everything that you want, you get it. You want the women, you flaunt your wealth, they come to you because that's what you did. You made it, you come up with the whole high value. You value people based on how much money that they have. This man could be a murderer, a serial killer, the most ugliest, pathetic man, but he has a lot of money. He's a high value man. And that's what you were, and that's what you are. But now minus the value. Things are tough, man. Things are tough out there, dog. And he's not lying. This is a tough country. You need to be tough to live here, man.
I mean, if you're not a competitive person, and I'm not.
Because they were never brought to be competitive. They were born and raised outside competition. That's why they always win. Everything is rigged on their side. They build this system against us. Beloved, they never built this system for them. They built it against us, because if they did build it for them, they would have still be thriving. Because this is the thing. The system. This is what the system does. it kept one side down at all time. Whoever crossed over on that side, you're going to be down. Whether if you're us or you are Gentiles, if you cross on our side and that side, they literally stack everything against it, you're gonna stay down. And this dude got crossed on that side, he stayed down. They didn't put it like, hey, if you do it well, we're going to do well together. We don't have to compete. No, they make it like, yo, this side always have to get 100% of the problem. And they don't care. They say, okay, well, what about us? What about the other brothers that are not as strong as us? They fuck them. They're gonna be half them. But we got some of them that are not competitive, and we need those guys for the votes. We need them for the work. F them. As long as those people over there are still down, I don't care. But we're going to lose 99.99%. Well, you have to crack up a few eggs to make a omelet. And this dude, unfortunately, he got close to our side.
It's not easy.
Come
Americans like a winner. They don't like people who aren't winners.
Exactly. And this dude look at himself like he's a loser. Because that's all they've been doing. That's all they are. America's number one. I'm white. I'm the winner. I'm the breadwinner. I'm the this. I'm that. There's a quote this dude make. He said, "You think you're a superhero." He said, like, when you grow up, like, you think you are like this superhero. You can save the world. And like, you ain't hish, man. I love that quote, but I don't know where it says it.
All our lives, we're given this false notion of American superiority that we're supposed to be superhuman.
Yes.
You know, I'm Superman. I'm Clark Kent. I'll rip off my shirt and I'm going to have a cape and an S plastered on my chest and I'm going to save the free world. And of course, we aren't going to.
So you're not.
Most of us are just people like me.
That's the best description this dude gave. And I love that. And I love what he said is the American, because that's how they raise their kids, like, you are superior. You don't need to try anything. Because that's what their parents never did try anything. You are good. You were born. Listen, Clark Kent is white. The United, everything is, you good, man. You don't need to work anything. You can save the world. Your way is the way of everything. You this, you that. You're gonna beat everyone. You don't even lift a finger by just you stepping in there. You beat everyone. But come to find out, when this dude come to the real world, and he like, wait a minute, something is different here. I'm not Superman. Let me see. Who's Superman here? He look at other people. They are not Superman either. And when he look at it, Superman doesn't exist in the midst of them. And he realized he'd been lied to. Okay, those are the folks that humble themselves. And then they tell you the truth. And more than likely, because the Gentiles is they are, it's impossible for them to tell the truth. They will not sit there and lie. More than likely, I'm not saying this dude is one of our people, okay? I'm not saying this. There's a possibility because the guy humbled himself, but he could be one of the cleaving Gentiles. He tell you the truth. It is extremely hard or impossible for any Gentiles to tell you any truth. They can't. The truth is not in them. But this dude just sit there and tell you, yo, you think you're some kind of Superman and stuff. You ain't. Most people out there, they're not, because he worked with most people. The dude has experience, you know. You're like, hey, man, you're not.
I think that a lot of people in Montana they reach that same level of panic.
Okay, let's listen to what that dude said again.
Don't make enough money. Not easy. The Americans like,
there we go.
Take your life.
I mean, at the time I was alone.
Alone?
Yeah, it was just me living here and one dog. And loneliness can be kind of a terrible taskmaster. This is a tough country to live in. I mean, if you're not a competitive person, and I'm not, it's not easy. The Americans like a winner. They don't like people who aren't winners.
Again, notice how he didn't say they don't like losers, because they only it's one side with those people. If you're not a winner, I don't like you. Well, I didn't win, I didn't lose. We don't like you. I'm a loser. We don't like you. I'm a winner. I like you. So the only possibility is to win. But there are no competition out there. You need to go out there and win. You need to dominate, just like Trump. Biggest loser of all. They look at this man as a winner. A winner. I thought like a winner as a hot dog. But anyway. You will have black folks sending me an email like, yo, Trump, man, he's outside. He was going to take the swamp down, the Illuminati and stuff. They believe that garbage. You see, a guy like Trump, he never worked a day in his life. And they're considering this guy a winner because, you know, he got all the money. He's a high value man. The guy had all the terrible attitudes and all the terrible temperament, but he got money. And the dude just sitting there, hey, Americans don't like that, man. They only like winners. But what about the average dudes? He doesn't win. He doesn't lose. He's not competitive. He don't like to compete. He can't compete. He just have his regular thing. He has his regular house, regular home, regular children, regular family, regular job, or regular business. No, you need to be this winning guy. And what winning mean? Well, just like Charlie Sheen, you need to be some super tycoon dudes having all the billions and now you're winning. But if you have a job, you're a slave. They are the one who come up with this notion, Bridget. If you have a job, you are a slave. But I have a good job, man. I got my home, my bills are paid. I don't have anything. I'm cool. But you are a slave until you get out of that system. Okay, how do I get out of the system? Become an Elon Musk. But Elon Musk got his wealth from his family, man. No, he worked for it. You need to work for it too. Be like Michael Jordan. I don't have a talent like Michael, but then be like LeBron James. I can't play basketball. I'm a fat dude. I'm white. I don't know. Well, do something out there to be a winner. You have a good job. No, you don't. And that's what this dude's saying over there.
All our lives we're given this false notion of American superiority, that we're supposed to be superhuman.
Again, when he said American superiority, he meant white superiority, okay? Look at the dude, man. Sharp dude. That's when back then, you know, a dude like that with the military haircut, you know, this is a typical military dude. All right. So he was slim and stuff like that. But as he grew up, man, and hey, yo, depression is one bad mother, man. And then food could be your best friend. Without food, a lot of you probably would not be here.
You know, I'm Superman. I'm Clark Kent. I'll rip off my shirt and I'm going to have a cape and an S plastered on my chest and I'm going to save the free world.
Because that's what got them into the whole Ukraine thing. Well, Ukraine is fighting for their freedom. They need to be free. So we need to send all the money. And guys like him, they were all on board with the whole Ukraine thing. But 3 years later, I don't know about the whole Ukraine thing. Well, they are fighting for their freedom over there, Big Levi. We need to send the money and free over there. Yeah, but what about our people over there asking for reparation? Reparation, man. They send that money to Ukraine because they're fighting for freedom. We are America. We need to free the free world. But what about the people that you have enslaved here? What about the people that you did enslave and continue still enslaving you? You need to free them and pay them their money and stuff like that. Nope.
And of course, we aren't going to. Most of us are just people like me.
That's what they got.
I think that a lot of people in...
He said most of us are people like me. Losers. Regular folks. You're not Superman. The reason why you thought you were Superman because you had the blessing and it's ended with the so-called the boomers. That's all.
Montana they reach that same level of panic because they don't make enough money. There's a level of terror among people as they work longer and they fall farther and farther and farther.
That's how you design the system. The more our people work, the further they got back. The further away they got from their dream. They work, they go to school, they study this, they become the best at their work. You set up this system like that. You didn't set it up fair. If somebody truly work, truly put everything, they will become anything that they want. You just pick and choose a few of our people that is super good, like really very good. The one that are not good, you just control them. That's what you guys did.
Behind.
I've noticed you have a tattoo on your arm. What's this for?
When you end a sentence with a semicolon, you're basically saying, okay, that's not really the end of the sentence. There's more to come after that.
Thank you so much.
This is my way of saying there's more to come after this to my life.
And thank you for sharing it.
Yeah, it was very sad, man. If you watch the whole thing, it's called What's Killing America's White Men. And then they mess up the comment. You can't comment in none of those things. Okay, so, and they know that. Till this day, this thing is really going on. Now you got all those Generation Z dudes. This dude is most likely Generation X, so to speak. And like I told our people, don't get involved with generation of whatever. Just tell them, whatever, your blessing is over, mine has begun. And then you start working on your hish, okay?
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I'm not just going to give in. I'm not going to give up. I hope.
There you go. So that's what we wanted to show you. Those people were doing pretty bad. Their businesses were very bad. They were closing. And that guy just told you, a lot of people in Montana, you know, they are not making any money. And then now they want to show you like, oh, well, the street is not safe. It's black people's fault. You know, you guys are looting this, you got looting that.
Residents now calling for new leadership, tougher laws, and a turnaround before crime cripples their city. Tom Llamas, NBC News, Oakland.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated.
Okay, how long we are into this thing, man? Oh boy, I am so sorry. I went and rambling about the whole thing. All right, beloved. Why is all those stuff all happening? And it's happening because of Genesis 15. Verse 13, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. I wasn't even just reading this thing, I was just saying it on top of my head. Again, beloved, from 1619, 2019, we serve our 400 years, and right after 2019, 2020 hitting, and you see the entire world locked down. There was a lot of 988 they didn't report. There's a lot of stuff they did not mention, and that is because they want to make they want to make you seem that the so-called the elite is responsible, the 1%, the Illuminati. No, they are not. The Holy One of Yasharel did this. Our God did that. And he is with us. He is within us. He is in us. We have to cultivate and bring out the whole power of the Mighty One, which is inside of us. Now, beloved, 2023, it's not getting better. And then we are about to enter October, and then like 90 days, less than 90 days, we're going to enter the Gentiles New Year, which is 2024, and we know it's going to get worse than that, okay? Because in Genesis 15 verse 14, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and the Mighty One is judging the nation through the 10 plagues of the apocalypse of Abraham. And we went into this. If this is your first time here, we recommend that you read the book The Apocalypse of Abraham. All right, let's keep on moving, beloved. Oh, there we go.
Newatana family is desperate for answers after a mother disappeared after work 5 days ago.
And her family fears something may have happened to her. They say it is just not like her to leave her 4-year-old son. They're talking to our Matt Doherty tonight. Matt?
Yeah, I spoke with the manager of the club a little more than an hour ago. He tells me that they warn the women not to go home with any of the men they meet at the bar. The family members say 21-year-old DeAndrea Ford had only worked as a dancer here at Diva's Bikini Sports Bar and Grill for a few weeks. It's the last place anyone saw her.
If anyone has her, that they release her and let her come home. We just want her home.
Tonight, her family is pleading for help. They say they knew something was wrong when DeAndrea went days without contacting her 4-year-old son.
I'm confident that something's not right. This is not her normal behavior.
Family members say the club showed them surveillance video from that night. Tonight, the club's manager says the video has been turned over to police. Family says it showed DeAndrea leaving with a man, getting into his van in the parking lot after the club.
That's bad. She's 21 anyway, so you know the moment that you get in this dude's van, that's it. That's it for you. That's it. And again, there's nothing we can say and tell those folks, because a lot of people think this is the time right now to go in these places and sell these cookies and sell the cakes and muffin, and in those places there's a huge judgment going on out there, beloved. Okay, all right. And again, I'm not against this, and I'm not telling people not to go, but I tell you, be aware of what's going on out there.
Closed. They stay there for more than an hour.
Well, she entered the vehicle with him. Whether she left, with him willingly or unwillingly, that's something that we can't answer.
After that, her family says one of her friends got a missed call from DeAndrea at about 2 o'clock Friday morning. By later that day, family members say DeAndrea's phone had been turned off, and their calls went straight to voicemail. They say it's been off ever since.
Her phone has not been powered back on. There's been no reception or no direct contact with her.
This is not good.
Houston police say this is an active investigation. If you have any information, you're asked to give them a call.
Okay, this could be legit, but then again, I don't like the whole centralizing. Oh, she saw a little child working, and then a big leader. We need to protect our women because they are being kidnapped, and then stuff like that and stuff. No. You need to protect your women. The hell is wrong with you? I ain't got time for this nonsense. So this seems to be legit here. But hey, only the Holy One know what's going on with this young woman. And again, beloved, this is very unfortunate. But hey, the mighty one is in the midst. A lot's going on. You see a lot of people that are in certain line of work, and they are catching hell. There we go. Oh boy.
In Haymarket, Virginia.
There we go.
This was a thwarted, diabolical plot to
Park Valley Church. Welcome home. That's a nice church. I thought that was like some kind of shopping center, but wow.
In Haymarket, Virginia.
Cops are calling it a close call that could have had deadly consequences. Rui Zhang arrested Sunday morning after...
Okay, I don't know what it is, but for some reason now, certain faces being in the news a lot more often, not because they are the model citizen, but it seems like you guys are doing a lot of you guys are doing a lot of hishmet. Like you guys are the soldier of Christ. You took this woman, you beat the spirit out of her, starved her to death. When they found her, she was weighing 75 pounds. And then a bunch of you guys are robbing places and collecting. Remember, well, you know what? Not remember. Let's get this video, okay? Because people are like, oh, well, those retail store being hit by black people and stuff like that. Oh, Big Judah is live. Anyway, Asian brothers arrested for shoplifting ring. You see, the moment you put ring. The moment you put shoplifting ring, they always put people that. There we go. 2 brothers arrested operating shop retail theft ring in Pennsylvania. Those guys, they are the ones set up things, wearing faces like us, have their people setting up those things. Okay, do this stuff, and the 2/3 will follow them. Okay, but anyway, so. Those were the dude that was doing that. All right, let's keep on moving.
Police say he came here to the Park Valley Church on a mission to kill and was stopped moments before carrying out a mass shooting.
Minutes. Yeah, the congregation was making their way into the church. He was in the vestibule of the church, about to enter, so minutes or seconds away.
Police say the 35-year-old was carrying a loaded semi-automatic pistol with another magazine and a knife. And investigators say they were able to stop the potential massacre thanks to someone who saw these troubling social media posts and called the cops.
And say, hey, I think something really bad is going to happen.
Police providing this detailed timeline of how it all went down. They say Jang staked out the church early Sunday morning and posted pictures from the parking lot. Hours later, the concerned citizen alerting police. Not long after, officers in Fairfax County and Prince William County springing into action. Just after 10 a.m., Zhang returning to the church as service started and arrested. Hours later, police searching his home and making a disturbing discovery.
And found a kill manifesto, the likes of which I've never read. He knew he was going to take many lives yesterday, and he also said that I don't know any of them.
Quite frankly, just we've been thanking God. You know, God's been so good to us, and He protected us.
So he's the senior pastor. It's a nice church, man. That thing don't look like a church. Churches don't look like regular churches anymore. You know, this thing look like a business place, as if, you know, churches were not businesses. But anyway, churches do have a steeple, you know, to draw the ley line and draw the energy of the people in there. Because the old churches that you see, for instance, those are not churches, okay? Let's go a little bit right here. There you go with Big Levi doing a bunch of stuff, wasting your time. Ancient cathedral. There you go.
Showing pictures that match.
See, those are not places to come and pray. That's not what they are for. That's not what that is, okay? See, those are healing places. Those are magnetopathy places. Those are biomagnetism places. Okay, those are places you go, you get healed from distance. Okay, and then they used to do the healing every Sunday, every Saturday, every specific day. And you will go to those places, you will enter the confessional, and then you will heal, you will communicate. Those are healing centers. Okay, they draw a lot of energy through the ley lines. And the Gentile swagger jack are, well, and for lack of a better term, those were ancient hospitals, so to speak. Okay, those were ancient healing center, and still is. Okay, they were healing the people through sounds and magnetism. Okay, with the magnetic fluid. All right, those are not church. All right, all those little things that you see on top of them, that's not. They are not quartz and stuff. They are antennas that draw the electromagnetic power through the ether or the akasha or the acacia, and they have it there. Those are not healing. Those are not churches. They didn't have those. You see, let me show you. There we go. See those chairs? Those people are sitting here. There weren't no chair. It was all like. It's not bed, but people would just go ahead and lie down, and then they will they will activate the power, and this thing will start healing our people. Okay. All right. And they transform those things like churches. Okay, that's why they make the people come and pray so they can absorb their powers, their energies. Those are high frequency places. Okay, those are high frequencies. Those things that you're seeing here, they are musical notes. All right, those are musical notes. Okay. That's what they are. Healing to magnetism. We have lessons when we study biomagnetism. We saw them. That's why they can never duplicate. They don't build churches like that anymore. Well, they're not churches. They don't build them like that anymore because they can't. They don't have the technologies. They don't know how to do it. That's why you see things like that. You know, churches are building like shopping center, beautiful business.
Senior Pastor Barry White says his congregation is breathing a big sigh of relief. And
again, send a black dude over there, okay?
Giving thanks that no one was hurt.
I was here, but it was conducted in such a way that most of the things that were happening were kind of happening behind the scenes.
Jang is now facing charges for making threats and bringing a weapon to church, while Pastor White says this won't change how they worship.
All are welcome. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah. This is the Christian garbage. all welcome. Everybody's welcome. I know the guy is Asian. I mean, your ass is black, but yeah, all is welcome. You can welcome. Did you hear I say all is welcome? I'm talking to you and your family and people that look like you. We need your ass back in the church so you can pray again. So, you know, America will be blessed again. So I can, still making that money and shit, you know?
But at the same time, you know, we always want to be as vigilant as possible, you know, for everyone's safety.
And Zhang is being held without bond. Again, this is an ongoing investigation, but police say it doesn't look like he knows anyone who attends this church. In Prince William County, Walter Moore.
Yeah, like they need to know someone. Whatever, man. So great glory to the mighty one, and those people are not at ease, okay? They are very uneasy right now. Let's keep on moving. Oh. All right, then.
Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. 4 people were shot and 1 died in an afternoon shooting in South Dallas today. Police have not released any details other than the number of victims and that there's no suspect in custody. But witnesses tell Fox 4 they saw a man in a hoodie with at least 2 weapons shooting up a home and a car wash. Fox 4's Amelia Jones live at Dallas Police Headquarters with what police are saying to this point. Amelia.
Steve, we don't know the condition of the 3 victims in the hospital. As you mentioned, we spoke to one witness who says that she believes she saw the man who could be the shooter. The front door and window of one unit of a housing complex in South Dallas are covered in bullet holes. Evidence markers on the sidewalk by the front door locate what appear to be shell casings. Dallas police say around 2 p.m., 4 people were shot at the intersection of Lyons and Elsie Faye Higgins streets. 1 person was killed. 3 other victims were taken to the hospital.
They said it's really heartbreaking because we have this all the time.
Patricia Asbury lives in the housing complex and says she witnessed much of what happened Monday afternoon.
I was coming out of the parking lot right here, and I stopped right there. I seen the guy with 2 guns in his hand.
Asbury says she thinks this could be the shooter. She says he stared at her and her son in the car.
I thought he was going to shoot me because the way he was looking at us, and he had both his guns in his hand, and he stopped and paused and just stared at us for a while.
Sky 4 shows the large scope of the investigation area. Investigators combed through a neighboring park looking for evidence. Crime scene tape also sealed off a nearby coin-operated car wash as police searched that area. Asbury says she saw the man get into a burgundy car, drive to the car wash, and start shooting.
Then when I stopped at the stop sign, he pulled in the car wash, and I looked over there and I seen him shooting it up. I hit all the guns. He had both the guns going, pop, 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 just shooting out.
Asbury says she didn't know her neighbors, but believes it was a family who lived there.
A little girl, woman, and a man.
Police have not released details about a potential motive. No one is in custody.
Every time you turn around, there's something happening.
There you go. Thank you, beloved. Every single time, brethren, every single person in this country and this earth, they know it. Everywhere you turn, something going on. It is always something. What's going on? What seems to be the issue? It is always something. But hey, people don't want to say, hey, man, the blessing is over. But hey, anyway, we're here to tell you, the reason why this is happening. And 83, they're under judgment. So that is, oops, ooh, I erased stuff. I cut off the other video. Let me see what kind of video was it. It's just like I'm not using the wireless mouse. I'm using the pad. I'm using the pad that this thing has. Flight attendant death, and they find her with a sock in her mouth. Okay.
Investigators are referring to the death of a woman inside. Suspicious death at a hotel right next to Philadelphia International Airport.
The body of a flight attendant was removed from a hotel room late last night. Action News reporter Walter Perez live for us now at the scene with what we're learning this hour. Walter.
That's right, Sherry and Rick. Even right now, still a lot more questions and answers regarding this case. But what we do know is that a 66-year-old woman was found dead inside the Marriott here behind me at the airport with a sock in her mouth. Investigators are referring to the death of a woman inside the airport Marriott as suspicious because, quite frankly, there are still more questions than answers. Sources tell Action News that woman was an American Airlines flight attendant who was supposed to have checked out of the hotel 2 days ago. When the cleaning staff finally made the discovery, police were notified and arrived right around 10:45 last night. Inside that room, they found several sealed bottles of prescription drugs and the 66-year-old woman dead with a sock in her mouth. People we spoke with here at the airport say the whole thing is unnerving.
That's very sad. I'm sad for her family.
Again, you could have interviewed anybody, but again, we got to put the faces in there so that people would know. They are the one that doing this thing now. She could possibly know that she did it. So I just know it, Big Levi. She's the one that strangled and killed that whatever 66-year-old woman. And you know what to do when they say 66. You know what's going on out there. But anyway.
That, her body was found in a hotel. That's pretty sad.
It's very strange, and it seems like a lot of unanswered questions. But
that's what it is.
Police also say there were no signs of forced entry, no signs of a struggle, and no weapons recovered. Autopsy results are pending. Now, what we still don't know at this point is, was this a murder? Was this a suicide? Or did she just die? Also, was the sock deep enough inside her mouth to asphyxiate her? In other words, was this the actual cause of death? And finally, how was she inside that room for 2 days after checkout and nobody noticed? Once again, a lot more questions and answers regarding this case. Reporting live from the airport, Walter Perez, Channel 6, Action News.
Thank you, Walter. Thank you. Wait. Oh, what the hell? Oh, okay, yeah, that was I wanted to begin with this, but here we go. My wireless mouse is thing. It works anytime you want. So, this is in Iraq, all right? Okay? That's a wedding in Iraq. This is a wedding. I'm repeating again. This is in Iraq. A wedding in Iraq. Let's keep on moving.
A couple's dream wedding turned into a nightmare. Pyrotechnics igniting the ceiling of the venue during the first dance. The bride and groom fleeing the flames along with some of their guests. But many didn't get out in time.
Hey, do I have comments on this? Do I have a comment on the modernity of either the Gentiles and our people? See, back then, when you used to have a wedding, it used to be because the groom and the bride wanted to tie the knot and go to the bedroom and get the honeymoon done. That's all. But it seems now wedding has to be for the entire world. I mean, a wedding is in Iraq. They have to shot this wedding as a social media stunt with fireworks. There are children there, and like so much fires and stuff inside of a building for clout. Back then, a few years ago, I'd say like 2010, it's like 10 years ago, 2013. See, when a man and a woman get together, rightfully so, and they produce, they know each other, and they used to keep that very secret. The gender of the child, which did not matter for neither one of them. But now, gender release become a very hazardous and very dangerous thing. A few months ago, a few weeks ago, there was a gender reveal party in Mexico where an airplane revealed the gender of the baby and the wing clipped and the pilot died. I believe another person died. So if not, somebody correct me. and you see all those unnecessary garbage people see on their Instagram, TikTok, or whatever social media that people are indulging themselves out there, and they are seeing those nonsense, and they are doing this stuff, and they ended up killing a bunch of people. Then again, beloved, we know this is the hand of the Holy One, the hand of the Most High. Just like, of course, 90 people, you know what to do. If you haven't done it yet, you know that the so-called 83 will not have any peace. Whether through the wedding, the gender reveal party, the mask, or what, they go to sleep. And you are seeing those people are not dying by one or two, but you just saw a few days ago what happened in Libya, what happened in Morocco, which everybody just forget about all this thing, and now Iraq. What seems to be the problem? Well, the problem is the blessing is over, and you people can get married and have happy stuff and things like that. And inside of all those things, you can see, enlarge this thing right there. You can see all this. I don't know what that is right there. And this looks like some kind of face. Okay, it looked like I don't know, a face of a fat dudes, like Fat Albert. You can see the chick right here. And then the eye, and there's this giant off. Whoops. The blaze. Let me see if I can move it.
Some of their guests, but many didn't get out in time.
There we go. I think I got it right there. The cheek right there is like the afro right there. It's like a huge afro. One eye here, one eye there. Nose, you know. That's what it did look to me. But anyway, this thing, the Gentiles cannot enjoy the blessing anymore. How long we are into this thing? Good grief. All right, let's keep on moving.
Blaze ripping through the venue, leaving more than 90 people dead and dozens more hurt. This nun, who lives in a monastery nearby, saying bodies are being...
Okay, is she a nun or like some kind of Muslim? What the hell is going on over there in Iraq? Is she a nun to Catholic nun, or nun and Muslim? I don't know.
Taken out, youths were flooding into the hall to get out the largest number of people they could. Emergency crews rushing the injured to a nearby hospital. The wards full of victims. This Iraqi health official saying the majority of the victims were completely burned. Oof. Daylight revealing the extent of the destruction. Drone footage shows the wedding hall's roof collapsed. Inside the building, a charred and mangled mess. Mounds of twisted metal rising from the floor of the building. Mama! Mama! This man making an unthinkable discovery in the rubble, the burned remains of his mother's clothing. Officials announcing 9 people who worked in the venue have been arrested in connection to the fire. This investigator saying the pyrotechnics used in the ceremony were not allowed inside or outside the venue.
Well, that's what it is, man. Like, who did this? Who come up with that? And again, which remind me of what the sister said. She said the angel gives her a message. Say 83 gonna be doing stupid things, stupider. They're gonna get stupider and stupider and stupider.
As family and friends.
Okay, wait, what the hell is going on here? There are cross there. What's happening? Is it a Christian family? I'm very confused there. But anyway,
carry out the solemn task of mourning the dead. Hundreds of people gathering for funeral processions.
Okay, that's the brethren. Listen, man. Listen. Okay. All right. Listen to the groaning, the sorrow. All right. Okay, listen, man.
People gathering for funeral processions.
All right, which is plague number 1 right there. Sorrow for much need, fiery conflagration of the city. That's a fire that destroys people. Now, beloved, time again, every single time we're doing this podcast or this Esau's Trouble segment, I always ask this question, or we always ask this question, and I want the nation to be frank, to be honest. We are not gloating and happy over this. We're just watching prophecy being fulfilled. And comparing to what the Christians out there say, of course, they're going to say, oh, this guy is a Muslim and stuff like that. For some reason, they felt more Christian than Muslim. What the hell? The guy closed. What happened there? Well, Iraq was colonized by the U.S., so they pretty messed them up over there. But anyway, does this look like Jacob's trouble to you? Does the face of this fellow look like a typical Jacobite? The sorrow, the mourning, the gnashing of teeth, the cries, the tears, is that Jacob's trouble, beloved? Oh, Lord forbid, beloved brothers and sisters. 1 2/3 got shot by another 2/3 somewhere. Or a white man shot a 2/3 and say, I shot him because he's black. Oh, you see a bunch of people online. There you go. I told you, Jacob's trouble, it's on his way. They say the head. Wait, hang on. And this time, in this day and age, you're shocked that somebody say he killed one of us because we or us. When you look at this dude, beloved, do you see that he and the people behind him and the people with him, do you see they have somewhat a driven force, somewhat the pride they used to have, the courage, the boldness they used to have, and puffed up their chest and say, well, hey, 83, we're about to rule the world. We're going to come up the elite and stuff like that. We're going to rule the world again. We're going to rule for another 400, 1,000, I don't know, 12,000 years or whatever you want to call it. A lot of our people like, well, Big Levi, we are at the end of the 12,000 years. A great destruction is going to happen, and then everybody going to be destroyed. But when I'm watching this right here, that's not everybody here, man. We watch multiple of those videos. We're like, wait, something's going on here, man. 83 can't enjoy the blessing the way that they used to. Not anymore. And our final question, beloved, since today is Zedek, September the 28th, do you believe January 1st, 2024, things are going to get back to normal? Do you believe 2024 things going to get better? Huh? Do you believe in 2024 out of nowhere, boom, 83 like, oh, we remember now. We're going to have to come after Jacob. We're going to have to build camps. We're going to have to put them in Jacob's trouble. We're going to have to do this so we can come back on top of the world and rule for another 400 years. Do you believe that? Do you think the Holy One will give us into great shame and great reproach? Do you think the Mighty One would be just a fair God and send us back into slavery again? Because I don't know, man. Some 2/3 they robbed some people that look like us, did something in Philadelphia. They stole some stuff. And a big value, you have to understand, those women over there, they are twerking. What about that young woman? She's 21 years old, working in a bakery, and she got into a event of this guy. They never see him. You see, the Israelite women, the Judite women, is causing us to sin again and stuff like that. Oh, really? This is prophecy. This is what happened to you folks over there, Ishmael, because of the hand that you had in the Inquisition. Okay, a lot of people don't know this. Ishmael had a big hand in the Inquisition. They disguised it under the Crusade. Remember the 100-year war? Ishmael was in the midst of all that, okay?
A day supposed to be filled with celebration turned into tragedy.
Okay?
Matt Bradley, NBC News.
Okay, this is really, really bad over there, all right? That guy find his mother's clothes, man. That's like, yo, that's like the worst, man.
This man.
So he's yelling, mama, mama.
Making an unthinkable discovery in the rubble, the burned remains of his mother's clothing.
This is my mother's clothes.
Officials announcing 9 people who worked at the venue have been arrested in connection to the fire. This investigator saying the pyrotechnics used in the ceremony.
Okay, this thing could have been something just normal. Just have a freaking normal wedding, man. And to all people that are listening, watching this, and they're gonna be so stupid, and they're like, well, I want a wedding just like hers, but without the fire. I mean, I want the pyrotechnic stuff, and I want the fireworks, but I don't want the fire. And they will do stupid. Yo, man. But we are not here for this. But this thing could have been nice. But then again, the blessing is over, and the Holy One makes sure that, hey, man, you know, people ain't gonna enjoy this blessing, man. Out of here.
Ceremony were not allowed inside or outside the venue.
Terrible things, man. Let's keep on moving. There we go.
Accused of running an illegal. And a Popeyes employee accused of running an illegal business. What police say he was selling in the restaurant bathroom.
Well, new at 10 tonight, a Popeyes employee accused of selling drugs through the drive-thru was behind bars after allegedly shooting at a customer who tried to rob him. Thank you for joining us at 10 o'clock. I'm Keith Garvin.
Good evening. I'm Daniela Guzman. Well, that shooting happened at an Humble Popeyes off of FM 1960 near Kenswick Drive, and that is where KPRC2's Bryce Newberry is tonight with what investigators say happened. Bryce?
Keith, Daniela, that 17-year-old Popeyes employee is accused of shooting at least 7 times during the dinner rush this evening after what investigators say was a drug deal gone wrong in this restaurant bathroom. This is that teenager being taken into custody this evening, now charged with deadly conduct, unlawful carry, and tampering with evidence. Precinct 4 deputy constables got called here around 4 o'clock after the employee allegedly got into a fight with a customer in the bathroom during that suspected drug deal. That fight spilled into the restaurant lobby and eventually into the parking lot. Investigators say surveillance video shows them fighting over a backpack before the customer, a suspected drug buyer, took off. That's when the employee fired several times in his direction.
The employee was working the drive-thru or working the front cash register, and if a individual comes into the restaurant or a vehicle comes through the drive-thru with the smell of marijuana emitting from their person and or the vehicle, he would pass them a phone number letting them know he is of selling the marijuana itself to call them if they needed something.
Investigators say the teenager has only been employed here for about a month. He is underage, so tonight it's not clear how he got the gun, nor how long or often this illegal drug activity may have been going on.
You never hear of something like this where, you know, an individual's brazen enough to, you know, give his number out and letting him know that he's, you know, a suspected, you know, illegal narcotics seller.
Fortunately, no one was hurt despite this happening at such a busy time in the area. The suspected drug buyer hasn't been caught.
Anyway, beloved, so hey, a lot of ish going on. Dude shooting dudes, just selling weed and all this nonsense. Let's keep on moving, man. I love this one. I love that one. Canada's House Speaker Rota resigns over accidental tribute to Nazi WW2 veteran. Accidental? Okay, all right, no problem.
It's with a heavy heart that I rise to inform members of my resignation as Speaker of the House of Commons. It has been my greatest honor as a parliamentarian to have been elected by you, my peers, to serve as the Speaker of the House of Commons for the 43rd and 44th Parliament. I have acted as your humble servant of this House, carrying out the important responsibilities of this position to the very best of my abilities. The work of this House is above any of us. Therefore, I must step down as your Speaker. I reiterate my profound regret for my error in recognizing an individual in the House during the joint address to Parliament of President Zelensky.
Error! Get out of here, man.
That public recognition has caused pain to individuals and communities, including the Jewish community in Canada and around the world, in addition to survivors of Nazi atrocities in Poland, among other nations.
Stop this garbage, man. We don't care about that. You people always acting like those folks in that piece of desert land over there are the true people. Or Charlie was wrong. Charlie was right. And then Charlie told you, hey, if we don't get rid of those, we're going to be slave to them. He wasn't talking about Ish. He was talking about us because he knew the prophecy. And that's what's going on now.
Undercover federal law enforcement moving in outside a Bronx nightclub over the weekend. On the day 1-year-old Nicholas Dominici was being buried, video obtained by Pix 11 shows another suspect taken down in alleged fentanyl drug ring run out of a daycare.
Such a heinous criminal act that led to Nicholas's death.
Investigators say Rennie the Rooster Paredes was hiding out since 4 toddlers overdosed inside. Using cell phones and his social media account, agents tracked the 38-year-old down and cuffed him on East Kingsbridge Road.
Why were there drugs in the day?
So again, a lot of people that they don't want nothing to do with us. Without black people, stay away from me. I'm not black. Don't call me black. Don't call me Asian. Don't call me an Israelite. Don't call me none of that, man. I don't know you people until you're in a situation now. Hey, we need black folks to come out then rioting and do hish, And then look at where they got this dude at a club. They don't care. I keep telling people, those folks really don't care. Yo, you are the cause of children dying. Children of your own people, you send over the day die. You need to do something. Like I said, that guy won't go to the Dominican Republic. We went to a club and then posting thing online and social media. Like, why, dude? Why, my guy? Why you do this?
Earlier this month, the daycare owner and her husband's cousin were arrested and charged in a federal indictment. And now, new surveillance images show her husband, the alleged ringleader, running out of a back alley with suspected bags of evidence. Investigators recovering fentanyl and drug paraphernalia in a trap door near where the babies would sleep. City Council member Parina Sanders.
I don't know what happened to Trap House now. People used to have Trap House. For some reason now it's daycare, Popeye's restaurant. I'll take a number 1. Yeah, would you like some weed with that? There's a new side weed? Is it like corn or French fry ice cream? No, real weed, Nick. You like some weed? No. All right. Well, if you know anybody that or if you like some, come back here. My name is this and here's my card. Call me. All right, dude? Okay. Weird. Yeah, I would like to enroll my daughter and my son in your daycare. Oh, okay, yes. Do I need to sign anything? No, just lie them on the floor. They just play. And there's a lot of powder in the floor. No, that's nothing. So, do you have any pain? Huh? Do you have any pain, like back pain? No, sometimes I do, but you do have them. No, I mean, like when I do certain effort, like what is it? Well, I'm just letting you know that, if you're looking for some fentanyl, and we have some over here. We have plenty of fent there. Yeah, so, if you don't have like pain or you want to feel good, yeah, you can contact me. Oh, so you have them at home? No, I have them right here in the daycare. Right here where I put the kids are. Right there where the kids. I mean, who would suspect that would be the stuff? They will never look at this. But they are kids. Kids are super smart. They will get to things. Nah, they are babies, toddlers. They won't find it up until they do.
Francaise has been comforting baby Nicholas's family while also examining ways to prevent another tragedy at home daycares.
making sure every single person that has access to an apartment where there's a family daycare, every single person needs to have a background check. Every single room, every single cupboard should be a part of what is searched.
With over 6,000 of them licensed citywide, this couple will never use one again.
When I first received my daughter coming back from work, full of bruises and bites.
We don't trust daycares like that anymore.
No. Yeah, they will abuse those kids, man. They will abuse those kids, okay? And then again, take a photo of somebody that look like us and blast it all over and then say, okay, she's the one who orchestrated everything and stuff like that. Anything for social media, you know. Keep on moving. Oh yeah, we might end with the, there we go. Using the pad.
These young women have an important warning for anyone trying on clothes in a dressing room.
It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. They'll go for anyone.
They say you need to be vigilant because someone may be watching.
I was in a state of undress. My clothes were scattered about the floor. I look down and I see a phone propped up on a pair of jeans.
Emily Lang says she was trying on Halloween costumes at a Forever 21 store when she got the fright of her life. She snapped this photo of the peeper's cell phone before he ran off.
I think I was a little bit in shock. You don't think about dressing room being, a dangerous place until you hear this story, because cell phones are everywhere.
The same thing happened to then 15-year-old Annabelle Davis when she was trying on swimsuits at a Target in Kansas.
I'm starting to undress. I'm starting to put a new swimsuit on, and as I'm looking through the mirror, I notice a phone propped above the doorway like this, and obviously the camera was on me. I could tell it wasn't just like an accident. You could tell it was intentional, because who puts their phone above a doorway like that?
Since there is no sexual contact or violence in peeping Tom cases, some may dismiss the voyeurism as a relatively harmless or victimless crime. But experts we've spoken to say that is simply not true.
These types of crimes can have long-lasting consequences. When survivors know what has happened to them, they can experience trauma, anxiety, and avoidance behaviors, as well as fear.
It's a sexually motivated crime, and it should be treated as such.
And get this, the same creep is responsible for both incidents. Anthony DeLapp served 3 years in prison, but apparently he hasn't learned his lesson because cops say he did it again. He was just arrested.
Oh, you're a pervert. Filming a child. That's not me. You filmed my child in the dressing room. You're lucky I don't shoot you.
Kimberly Blevins says her 20-year-old daughter saw DeLapp recording her as she tried on bras in a Walmart dressing room.
I was instantly white-hot angry that somebody would do that to her, that somebody would violate her privacy like that. She's really traumatized and feels really confused because she wasn't physically touched by this man, but he violated her privacy and her sense of safety in a way that she's not going to recover from for a long time. This is not a victimless crime.
Our investigation found other cases across the country of creeps busted for spying on women in changing rooms. Peepers like this guy, Corey McKinley.
We're investigating a sex offense right now.
He was arrested after spying on women while changing in dressing rooms at this Nordstrom rack in Ohio.
The report was that someone matching your description was filming with a camera in the dressing room, underneath the dressing room.
This is one of the unisex dressing rooms in the Nordstrom rack where the peeping took place. Can you imagine dressing here, looking down and seeing a cell phone recording your every move?
Police say these photos show Corey McKinley caught in the act. After the voyeurism incident here, cops seized Corey McKinley's phone, and digital forensic investigators say they were able to recover hundreds of photographs of women in various states of undress.
Mr. McKinley, I'm Lisa Guerrero with Inside Edition. Why did you spy on women?
He was with his wife when we tried to talk to him.
Why did you secretly tape women who were getting dressed in a dressing room?
We will address this. I just want the nation to watch the whole thing to see how desperate certain people are.
Are you a dressing room
peeping Tom, sir? Why would you do that? What would you do if somebody did that to your wife?
And the wife sticks by her husband. Damn it. There you go. All right. Oh boy. Usually I don't do things like that, but sometimes we come up upon those things and we give explanation. Well, sometimes we give a little tips here and there, certain things. Now, I'm not a woman, and this happened to men too. Gay dudes, they you don't believe how many hidden camera there's in men's bathroom watching another man taking a massive duke. And some men are into things like that, and they do this. Now, whether you're a woman or a man, things like that will happen. And I don't want our people, especially our women, to live in fear, or there could be some creep watching here and stuff. Just like people like Big Levi, you have to tell the nation that they are listening to our conversation. They are watching our videos. They're taping our phone and stuff. Yes, we are well aware of that. We know those people are watching this right now. Government watching this. The Pope watching and then fapping onto this. Yeah, there are certain things they get them off. They are watching. We don't care. Those people have been watching us forever. When we're on the plantation, they have people there watching us. You get out of the plantation, people watching you. You go to work, you're working on a certain neighborhood, not in your own neighborhood, you're taking a work, people watching you, calling them. They're always watching. That's what they are. They are watchers. Well, not watchers as the holy watchers, unholy watchers. What I want to bring about this, see, they are, let me see if I can get the images of the guys that they had. There we go. That's the dude. There we go. Right here. Now, let me enlarge this right quick. Just a little. Boy, this thing works whenever it pleases. There you go. Now, when you see the typical faces of the guys that do this, those are young men. They have wives. They have girlfriends. Some of them have children. But why? Why would somebody do something like that? What would a dude go to places then watch women undress? Okay, well, here's one reason. This fellow right here that you're looking at here is one of your, he looked like one of the typical Moabite or Ammonite or whatever. Doing my research on certain things, I find out that just like in China, South Korea, porn is illegal. Okay? And because if it's illegal, you have an epidemic. Well, not an epidemic. I'm sorry. I won't refer to it as an epidemic. I will refer to it as a normalcy. In South Korea, it is quite normal for in the women's bathroom, also the men, to find hidden cameras. See, those guys were stupid. They had their cell phone. People can literally spot their cell phone. In South Korea, you want, unless you're an expert or you got some hidden camera searcher or finder, things like that, you'll find it. In South Korea, it's pretty normal. If you're a woman, you're going to South Korea or you travel to South Korea, expecting your bathroom, whether known or not known, to have a camera, some dudes over there yanking it to this. Those are typical normal behaviors for those guys. It has, beloved, some of it has nothing to do with sex. It has something to do with power. Because they are losing power. Well, they lost power. They have none. So they felt in control when they can watch somebody without that person knowing he or she being watched. They could have easily watched things on their phone. They have those things, fake stuff all over. But those guys know those things are fake and stage and things. They need the real stuff, the real adrenaline, the real rush. It's a normal behavior to them, for them. Then again, in South Korea and China, things like that are normal. That's what those dudes do. It's a normal behavior to them. It shows you the degrading aspect of their society. Back in the 90s and early 2000, you wouldn't see anything like that. Okay, it's not like they didn't have the cell phone and stuff in the 90s and stuff. No, they have the camera was all over the 70s, 60s, and 80s. Yeah, it's a normal behavior. In China and stuff. In China, they caught you with porn. You can go in prison for like they can execute you for that. That's a Chinese men of various. They are sexually frustrated. Some of them don't even know how oven look like. They don't know that. In South Korea, those guys are watching those K-pop. That's why when you're watching a K-pop boy band, you don't know how those boys or girls that dress like boys. You cannot tell because that's the boys have to be very effeminate. In South Korea, everybody is surgery. People are like raving in the black community, so to speak. Well, too many black women are getting BBL. Too many black men are breaking their legs so they can become tall. Go to South Korea. Literally every person that you meet have surgeries so they can look cute, prettier. Some of the cultures, when I look into them, because I'm doing research to see if there's any connection with our people, and I find quite a lot, especially in South and North Korea. Well, there's no such thing as South and North Korea. The land of Korea and Japan and China, there's a lot of swagger jacking going on. But when you go deeper, because the deeper you go, the darker it gets. You can see our people. What you're watching here, it's a normal behavior. Okay, just don't like, oh my God, I'm shocked and stuff like that. No, those men are desperate. Although some of them have wives and girlfriends, they're just miserable. The blessing is done. So that's what's going on with those dudes over there. All right, beloved, I'll see you in part 2. We're going to end up with this. Unfortunately, this video cannot be released today, Thursday. It will be released Friday, tomorrow, which is today, what you're watching here. All right, so I will see you in part 2. You can look for it or you can wait for it. And the people that are watching on TV, which is 54% of our viewers. Wow. Wow. I was not prepared for that, but 54% of the viewers are watching this thing on their TVs. Anyway, if you're watching it on your TVs, it would be best if you start looking for part 2. And people on the phone, it might automatically goes. And the people that are watching on TV, let me know if that thing automatically come, okay? Shalom. See you in part 2.